Hey guys, David here again from Living on iPad. Hope you're well. Yesterday we did our first video on gaming on iPad, and today I'm going to play a second game. This is one that I play quite a lot actually, and this is Call of Duty Mobile. This is one of probably the best games on the iPad as far as I can tell. I am using my slightly newer iPad for this, so for this video I am using, this is a 5th generation 2017 iPad. But it plays absolutely great, and to be completely honest, I feel like when people are wondering if the new 10.2 inch 2019 iPad is good enough to play games on, this thing is, so I don't see why it shouldn't be. So in this situation I am actually recording to my Mac just to make life a little bit easier in terms of the editing and stuff afterwards, and also because I haven't got enough storage on here to keep the whole game. So that's what we're about to do. For some reason we're reconnected to the server. Please hold. So let's get into this. We're going to play a battle royale. I'm actually not bad at this game. This is weird. I tend to be completely terrible at computer games in general. I like to play the classic first person. I'm assuming that you guys will be able to hear the sound from this, although at the moment I can't hear any of it. I think that's because it's recording the sound into my Mac. So bear with me. Fingers crossed you guys are hearing all of this and there is no need for me to be saying this. So it also means we're going to be playing without being able to hear stuff coming. So this is the kind of pre-game area where you can get used to the controls and stuff. I'll be honest, to play this on iPad is, for me, a million times easier than playing it on iPhone. Basically because I can see what I'm doing. I would also say it's probably quite a difficult game to control with enough fine motor control. Now, you have got the options of doing like third-person mode, first-person mode. I'm personally a massive fan of the first-person thing where I can see exactly what's going on. So 9 seconds until we go in. I'm going to play the mechanic style. And this is the mechanic class, so I have the way of finding people that are nearby to shoot at. Potentially without me being able to see them in the first place. I find that that is the most useful one. I started off by using the zombie play toy little wind-up robot thing, and I found that the this guy is way better. So fingers crossed this isn't going to affect our performance too badly using the external recording. I'm going to jump out, and I always try and fly quite far out on these. So on this drop, essentially I get out as wide as I can. I'm going to give you some tips because actually when I first played this, and I'm not exactly a first person shooter kind of expert by any means, I won I think 2 out of my first 4 battle royales out of 100 players, and I have no idea why that happened. There was no reason that I should have been doing that well. But I've got some tips that I'll share with you. So first of all, get out quite far, because the last thing you want to happen is to immediately encounter someone else and get shot before you manage to find any sort of weaponry. So at the minute we've got a repeating shotgun. I will be completely honest, I don't know all the names of the weapons in this game. I'm not a military kind of person. I've played some paintball in my time, but that's about as far as it goes in terms of that kind of thing. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the maps, because I genuinely will have no idea sound-wise if someone is coming for me, as I've mentioned. So this is going to be quite tricky for me to play, but I'm going to get up to this high ground up here, and also in the top right-hand corner of my mini-map, I can see that there is an upgrade terminal. So I can upgrade my my skill, my operator skill. I'm not sure if that's what they're supposed to be called in this game at all. As I've mentioned, I play this quite a bit, but I don't know the names of anything. So right, we are going to swap out, because I hate sniper rifles, so we're going to swap that out for that. And then we're going to keep an eye, once that operator skill, the engineer skill, is fully charged, I'm going to activate that and just make sure there's no one super close to me that I'm not aware of, because that would be upsetting. Okay, let's launch that. So this launches a mini drone that... there we go, there is someone. Okay, cool. See, as I mentioned, you get really quite good fine control with the iPad, because everything's much bigger on the screen, so you can do big movements or small movements to just be that little bit more precise. It's like having a more precise mouse on like a desktop version of this kind of game. I like an M4, so we're going to swap out the repeater shotgun for that bad boy. And because of the current theme that they've got like a Chernobyl thing going on with the theme of this season on the game. That's why we've got this green kind of overlay for this. So our game area has shrunk down. I'm going to head over towards the circus because I quite like it over that side of things. Oh, actually no, we're going to upgrade our skill first. But that won't happen for another minute and 22 until that icon turns purple, and then we can go and grab that. Beautiful. Right, we'll park up here, sit over here, grab some more weaponry, and we'll sit tight. That has recharged, so there will likely be people nearby here. So we'll pop the drone up again, and also, yeah, just make sure that everything is reloaded nicely. I'm also more of a fan of these telescope sights than I am of the holographic and the red dot sights. The holographic's fine, but I genuinely think these are the best ones to use in most cases. So right now, this is where, when I'm kind of hanging out, waiting for someone to rock up, that's when I kind of need the audio working, but it's going to be... If you guys hear anyone coming, just let me know, okay? So we've now got 11 seconds until that terminal activates. Then we're going to jump back down onto the quad bike, the ATV, and head down towards the circus area, because I quite like that area for fighting. I think it's quite cool. Right, let's grab this. Boom. Just ready for upgrade. The only problem with this kind of control setup is some of the bits are quite difficult to reach with your thumbs into the centre of the screen. I'd like it if they gave you an option to kind of have them a little bit further out. Oh, that was nearly a bit of a crash. So one of the big tips that I always give for new players to this kind of game is, as soon as you have an engagement with anyone, and I didn't do that this time, is as soon as you've had an engagement, you've killed off one of the bad guys, immediately reload your gun, regardless of how much ammo you've got left. If it's not completely full, that might end you up in a sticky situation if you end up with some bad guys coming at you, and it always tries to reload at the most inopportune times. So we've just launched our drone again, so we will see if there is anyone knocking about. So this little following that's showing on the screen right now, that is basically telling me that the drone is airborne, and as soon as it spots someone, it will shoot off and give me a direction on which way they are from me. So let's just top up on things here. One of the other ones, right, I need to find some adrenaline, because that will give me 150% of 150% health, which is super handy, having an extra 50% of hit points. But that will keep you alive much longer. Hemostatics, these are crap. It's basically a bandage for your wounds, but nonetheless we will grab them, because in lieu of anything else, if we do get battered before we found some adrenaline, they will be super handy. Okay. Handguns. You know what would be really good? Some adrenaline. And also, why are there no bad guys over here? Seems kind of funny that nobody's in this area. It's a really popular area and we flew right over it at the beginning of the game. So let's just see if there's anyone on the beach. Pretty quiet. It's nice to have the area to yourself, but you don't get many kills that way. And we're already like half the players in the game are dead.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Alright, let's launch the drone again. See if anyone's turned up. I'm really not one in this game for playing sneaky, and I hate playing snipers. I don't like sniper rifles. I'm not sure why. I think... Well, I much prefer the fun aspect of it, of like hunting the bad guys down and killing them. But
Airdrop has been delivered.
I'm not someone that just hides in little spots and waits for people to come to me. Really upsetting that I haven't found any adrenaline yet, but let's go. Right. As you can see, the game actually plays really fluidly on here. I mean, it might not be hitting like 60 frames a second, or, you know, it might be dropping occasional frames, but it's certainly not enough that would make this difficult to play. The only times I've ever had stuttering where it's been difficult to play has always been to do with connectivity and with like my Wi-Fi signal being a bit patchy, and for some reason it makes you kind of jump backwards sometimes, or like all the other players will freeze and you will be there shooting at them and nothing will be happening. It's very strange. Oh, and there we go, we dropped a couple of frames there. So because I'm right on the edge of this safe zone here, the chances are there's going to be people trying to get into this safe zone area, so this might give us a bit more opportunity to
Airdrop has been delivered.
to actually fight some people, because this has been super slow so far. Ah, there we go. Hello. And maybe, just maybe, he's got some adrenaline. Nope.
Airdrop has been delivered.
This is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm jumping out of the safe zone for a minute, because it's going to be more fun. And reload. As I've mentioned, it's important to instantly reload as soon as you've shot some people, so having said that, I forget to do it all the time. But it does really, 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 really help if you do it. One of the other tips with this, if you want to get anywhere quickly, get to high ground and just double tap the jump button and you can fly. Oh, there's a medical chest there. Yes. Right, let's hit the adrenaline. The only thing is, if you go through a doorway, or if you have to open a door, or you jump, or some bad guys come up while you're trying to use the adrenaline, it will stop it and you'll have to restart it. A little bit annoying. But now, as you can see at the bottom, I've now got 3 full energy bars, which means 150 hit points. Very nice.
Chip terminal is almost ready.
The drone is nearly recharged. This is, I'll be honest, probably using the drone feels a bit like cheating to me, but it's not. It's part of the game and everyone can do it if they so wish. Oh, hi. And now we've got another adrenaline, and we didn't lose any hit points. Oh, hey.
The safe zone is collapsing.
Right, now we're getting into the swing of things. It's a bit more fun. Oh, there's another one. Now you might notice that I haven't got a trigger to press, because I'm using the simple mode controls, because I find it's much easier. And in all honesty, I'm down to just under a full thing. Right, where are you?
Tank has been delivered.
Cool. So let's do that now, and then we'll reload. But yeah, I don't have a trigger because I'm in the simple mode, which means basically when you aim at things, it will shoot. What it does mean as well, though, is that if you're trying to attack vehicles and stuff like that, it will only fire if you're aiming at the driver themselves and not actually at the whole kind of area of the vehicle. So it means that you will not inflict damage specifically on the vehicle. That's not an option. Oh, we have a tank being landed. That will become quite fun because people will flock to it to try and get the tank for their own means. But it's also super deadly if anyone gets in it. So rather than driving around in this tank, I'm going to sit here and defend it. And try and keep it from being... Oh no, I'm being murdered. Uh-oh. Took him out just right. We definitely need an adrenaline. But as expected, yeah, people want to come and get in this tank because it is super deadly when you get in it. So I'm actually going to do a little hiding here, and we'll see. We're already into the top 20 in the game, which is a nice place to be. Ooh, sorry, kicked you. It's a nice place to be, but I do think people are going to try and come up here and get in this tank. So I'm going to sit here and kill them on the way. And if they get in the tank, I'm going to panic because they will probably kill me quite quickly. In fact, as the safe zone is shrinking, I'm going to jump in myself. So the tank is pretty impervious to harm unless
Airdrop has been delivered.
Unless people have got like rocket launchers and stuff. Oh, I'm terrible at driving this tank. Let's see what we can do. In fact, should I just dump it in the river? I just don't like the tank dynamic that they've added in the last thing. So let's just drive into the river and jump out. Right, anyone going to come for me? Anyone coming for me? Someone over there? Right, so let's use the mini-map. He's just on the other side of that bridge. I do like to sprint directly at people. Oh, gunfire coming over my shoulder as well. So we're going to flick to the other side. I don't think they've noticed me. If you get a slope that's a bit too steep to walk up, you can just jump up it. Turns out. Right, let's launch my drone, because there's definitely someone knocking around over here.
Chip terminal is almost ready.
Or I thought there was. Oh, there is a tank coming across the bridge as well. So I want to be out of the way of that. Both tanks are now occupied. I'm going to let them fight it out on the bridge, I think. I am going to swim nice and close to the bridge so that nobody can see me. From underwater as much as possible. That also keeps your head invisible from the surface so people don't see you. Not want to be seen. So, yeah, there's shooting going on up there. I don't want to be involved in that. Thank you. We're now 8th in the game. I will take that. By the way, this is the first time that I've recorded a game on Call of Duty Mobile, so just to give you an idea, I'm not just playing and playing and playing until I get a decent result. This is my first game. Right, let's just pop my head under the water until we're a little closer to the shore and we can be a bit more safe. Okay, we're 3/4 of the way to having our drone ready. Grand. Recharging the drone, very, very useful. Yeah. Don't think I have anything explosive that can take out. Oh, I've got a frag grenade, but I don't feel like that's going to take out a tank. It does seem like the tank is very much busy fighting another tank, though, at the moment, so that's going to be messy. One of these tanks will die. Oh, somebody's up here with me, or under the bridge. Just spotted. Oh, goddamn. But not a bad run, 6th out of 100. I will take that for my first game that I'm putting on YouTube. Not too bad. I think, how many kills did we get? Let's have a quick look. But I really enjoy this game, and to be completely honest, to say that this is a free game, I've not paid a penny for anything on this game. I've not paid for any weaponry. I've not paid for any upgrades. It seems like pretty much all the upgrades that you can pay for are cosmetic. If I'm wrong about that, hit me up in the comments. So 7 kills, it's not my highest. I normally get about 15 if I win a game, but I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that for a game. Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly share that game with you. Obviously, you've got the multiplayer modes as well that are kind of 2 teams or free-for-alls. I really like the free-for-alls. But also, I do really like the Battle Royale, which is like your Fortnite style games, your PUBG kind of style games. The multiplayer, I mean, you're still playing against real people around the world, but in the multiplayer, like ranked matches and the regular games, you do get a lot of options in terms of game styles. So we'll just run through a couple of those quickly. So you've got Team Deathmatch, Gunfight. Gunfight is basically where you will start with one gun. When you kill an enemy player, you then upgrade to the next gun, and then you upgrade to the next gun. And I think there's 20 kills to win the game, and the last one is either an axe or a knife. Hardpoint, that's like a moving capture the flag kind of thing. Free for all, as it sounds, is basically every man for themselves. Search and destroy is a fun one where someone has to plant a bomb at one of two sites, and then the other team has to defend those two sites, and if the bomb is planted, then defuse it before the timer runs out. Domination is 3 take and hold, capture the flag type points. And I've never played the practice versus AI because it's a rookie thing, and I was doing quite well from day one, so it kind of worked okay. And then you've got some fun extra modes that they've chucked in at the minute. Attack of the Dead. Oh, I haven't tried that yet. That is going to be on my list. But yeah, just wanted to give you a quick rundown of this, which I think is Season 7 of Call of Duty Mobile, played on the iPad, on an old iPad. This is not a new one, and a lot of people ask on a lot of the Facebook groups, I want to play X, Y or Z game, will this iPad do it? Basically, if the iPad will install it, it will probably run fine. It might not be at the top settings, but basically the iPad manages all of this stuff for you in most cases. So if you can install it on your iPad, give it a go. You might have some fun. If not, number one, you don't need to have an iPad Pro to play some games that look really good. Number two, you don't need to, you don't need to go for even the latest base level iPad to have a decent gaming experience. Now, the difference is if you buy an iPad Pro, you are going to have a good gaming experience going forward for maybe 5 years. With this, I feel like this is going to start to struggle with some of the newer games. I feel like this is one of the most demanding games there is at the minute. But yeah, just bear in mind that this thing is really designed for watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. However, you can certainly play some Call of Duty when you need to. If you've enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button, but only tap gently on the like button because it's capacitive and you don't want to break your screen. Thank you so much for watching. Check out livingonipad.com, also on Twitter, livingonipad, and Instagram, livingonipad. Or come and join our Facebook group, which is iPad Owners. Thanks!